and we have here welterweight contender Michael McKinson, 26-2. You're from the UK.
That's
Uh,
it.
Tell me, how's the boxing journey been so far?
It's been up and down. I came through on the small cards and over in the UK, the non-televised cards, and worked myself up. I think I got to maybe 18-0 before I managed to get a fight on TV, on the TV. From there, kind of, I've not looked back. I've took some big gambles that have paid off. Couple of losses on my record at the moment. I've boxed in the States twice, and I've spent a good number of camps out in the States sparring and things like that. So I am a regular stateside.
All right, I like to hear that, man. And yeah, you have been in the U.S. a couple times. You've also defeated a few undefeated fighters as well.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, you said something about sparring. You've been out here in the U.S. sparring. Tell me about that. Can you tell me some of the names that you've been able to share the ring with, just in the gym itself?
Yeah, so for example, my last training camp, so my last preparations, went to Philly and we were out there working with Boots Ennis. We were sparring Boots, Julian Williams. I got some real good work and some good advice off Bozy Ennis, and the it was a very good. I think 2 or 3 weeks I was over there working with them guys. I learned a lot. Even the days I wasn't sparring, being in the gym with fighters like that, you're only gonna get better and you're only gonna develop and stuff like that. And it was so good. And then we came back to the UK, and the day before flying back to the UK, I got an illness and um, got an illness, and the last 10 days of the whole preparations was me trying to shift this flu or whatever I had, and I was really weak. And the week before the fight, my partner, my girlfriend, said, "Are you sure you should be fighting next week?" And I thought if I could shift this illness and make weight okay and come into fight week strong, I'd be okay. I've not fought all year, which means I've not earned a penny all year. And I was wrong. I was okay for one round, and then I boxed 11 rounds on complete empty, and I lost on points for the IBO. So I had a really good camp out in the States, and the last 10 days back in the UK, it just completely went from good to bad, and I got ill. Lesson learned.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So wow, that's interesting. You know that you was able to spar, Jaron Ennis and Julian Williams, a former, a current champion and a former champion from Philadelphia. I mean, how was that work? How was that experience with those two guys?
Unbelievable. I got a good number of spars with Jaron Ennis, and like for me, I know there's a lot of talk at the moment. Like obviously, I've boxed Virgil Ortiz and I've sparred Jaron Ennis, and it's hard to compare because you go to actually box somebody and you go to just work with the other person. From what I found in sparring, Boots was probably the most talented fighter I've ever been in the ring with. Um, but Virgil Ortiz is a monster. Um, so I know the main question is who do I think, and what is my thoughts on this whole Boots ducking Ortiz. I don't know the ins and the outs, and I haven't really been following it. Um, but they are both unbelievable fighters. They are both very good people as well. Like Virgil Ortiz and his team are unbelievable people. Um, and obviously Jaron and his dad are great people too because they really looked after me. They really welcomed me into their gym and really helped me. So uh, they're both great fighters in their own thing. I don't know. Based on last performances, I don't think Boots look very good. Is he moving out of the weight class? He's a very big guy. Like Ortiz was a very big guy making 147, and that could be that could be the issue, or he was trying too hard to impress because he'd beat Karen before. I don't know. Um, but they are both unbelievable people. They're both unbelievable fighters, and listen, I'm sure they'll meet in the future.
Who, what would you say, being in there with Virgil and Jaron? I mean, obviously, you was in there with 8-ounce gloves with Virgil Ortiz, no headgear. And then you've been in there, and said that, Jaron Ennis has been the most talented fighter.
Yeah,
But you also mentioned that Virgil Ortiz is a monster. What would you
yeah.
talk about punching power and, relentlessness when it comes down to being that person, people labeled Jaron Ennis as that boogeyman at welterweight.
Mm.
And then, like you said, this has came upon that, he had an opportunity to fight on a really big card February 22nd and fighting Virgil Ortiz. So you tell me, like, when it comes to punching power and being more of that, you know, that relentless type of a guy, who would you say, is bigger?
Do you know when I travelled to Texas in 2022 to fight Ortiz, 9-1 underdog, and the world against me? I have never been as mentally prepared and physically conditioned for anything in my life. I was in unbelievable shape. Shots were bouncing off of my chin, and I wasn't phased. Like if you watch the fight back when I fought Ortiz, shots were bouncing off of my chin, and
I
I
watched it.
didn't falter. In the end, he hit that hard. I had a hip injury, and it was my hip, and I couldn't even put weight on. So he obviously hits very hard to do that to my hip. I couldn't put weight onto my right side, and it went downhill really fast. But if you
In the
was to
fight,
tell,
like that injury happened in the fight.
that's the reason that you see it wasn't body shots, it was a hip. So if you watch the fight back, you see I was limping. At the beginning when it first happened, I thought it was something to do with my leg because I couldn't put any weight onto my leg. And then when the bout, obviously, I went down the end of round 8, and it wasn't a body shot that put me down. It was literally my leg giving in. And the end of the round came, and I limped back to the corner, and that's when I realised it was my hip. And my dad let me go out for round 9 because I'm a fighter and there's no way. If you was to tell me I was going to get stopped a round before, I would have said you're joking. I was taking his power. I was taking everything, and I didn't feel like at any point he was hurting me. And then all of a sudden this happened, and it went bad real quick. My dad let me go out for round 9, but to be honest, I couldn't do anything in round 9. He let me go out for round 9 for pride more than anything, and then kind of I was defenseless, and about, I don't know, 45 seconds into round 9 or whatever it was, he chucked the towel in. But I was so prepared for Ortiz. I was so prepared. When I went out to Philly to spar Boots, I would be lying to say I went there and like kicked butt, and like I had some of the hardest round sparring I've had in my life. But you never know how big he is. I was a few weeks out from my fight. I was weighing light, um, So I don't know. I stuck with it. I know you hear stories about Boots and how he knocks people out, and people don't come back sparring, and these guys, and he struggles to get sparring. He didn't knock me out. I survived it, and I came back and I sparred him, and I came back again and I sparred him. Um, but like from the very first spar, probably 30 seconds into the first spar with Boots, I kind of felt, yeah, I've never been in the ring with anybody as talented as this guy in my life, and I've sparred many a world champions. I've I've been in the ring with some real good fighters. I've been a professional for 10 years. I travel as well, so he's definitely a talented fighter. I don't think he looked great in his last fight. I don't know the reason being. And you know, you could argue the case with Ortiz. He had a very close fight in his last fight. Like, you could argue that case, but he showed that he is a genuine world-class fighter. And I just feel like Boots hasn't had that opportunity to showcase how good he is yet. This was the opportunity, and I don't know why. I don't know why the fight hasn't been made. I haven't really been looking into it and stuff. I know that people are saying it's because Boots didn't agree, or I'm not sure.
What possibility things that like what do you think it could have been?
I don't know. I heard something that he wants to stay at 147, but you would like there was always talk of Boots moving up to 54. He's huge. He is a very big guy. Would you stay at one? Would you stay at 47 to fight the likes of Karen for X amount, or would you step up to 54 to fight Virgil Ortiz on a Turkey show and a Saudi show, Riyadh season, life changing type stuff? So you never really know, do you? You don't know in negotiations what went on, and you only hear bits and pieces. Like, I think they're both as good as each other, but that's just me. I don't know how many people have shared the ring with both. I feel like I'm one of a very small amount, maybe, but uh, listen, hopefully it happens one day. Hopefully it happens one day. They're both young, they're both flying, uh, and they're both unbelievable talents, and one will get found out eventually.
Right, right. You believe that these two amazing talents, there's no way that, they're scared of one another. Do you believe it's more the factors of the handlers?
Maybe, maybe. I don't really know, but as like an outsider and people looking in, people are giving the blame to Boots right now. Um, Maybe, and was it he didn't give enough time to uh,
Make a decision.
give enough, yeah, make a decision. With fights like these, I know that things take time. It takes a long time to get something over the line at that type level. Little things and stuff like that in contracts, who knows? But I don't listen. People say that they want me to compare and they want me to give my take on it. I don't necessarily think it's the boxers at all.